Well, I don't think this will take all that long. Tonight's topic is faith without doubt. Yes, I titled it correctly. So, I'm going to put the question to everybody here. Can you have faith without doubt? See, people often... Well, the problem is they don't always stop and think about how they came to a belief system. Okay? So, and the reason it's dangerous is because when you just automatically get to that point where I have faith, and then a little doubt creeps in, that can destroy baby Christians. Because that doubt, because they don't have the strength to kick it in the teeth yet, so that doubt will creep in, it'll take hold, and end up as the seed that fell among the rocks. It sprouted and then died because it had no root. Okay? So, understanding how you come to a faith and what you had to overcome is actually, it's the quintessential thing that will give your faith its legs to stand on. Okay? You have to have doubt first. Okay? Because faith is the overcoming of doubt itself. That's literally what your faith is. You have to overcome doubt. You have to have somebody give you, here's X, Y, and Z on why you should not. And you have to say, something in here is, I know I see that, but that's not enough for me. And I'm going to choose to have faith anyway. Faith is the belief without seeing. That's how we put it simply. You know, I don't see it, but yet I believe it. I don't see the wind. People will use the analogy, well, you don't see the wind, but you know it's there. And it's really not the best analogy in the world. I know it for a simple analogy, it works, but if you come across a seasoned atheist, they'll destroy your argument. It's not enough, you know. So what you have to do is when it comes to your faith, you have to give more if you're going to put up a defense. Okay? You can't just say, well, you can't see the wind, because they're going to laugh at you. And you're going to make no headway. And they'll probably go on to belittling you. And anybody who is listening, now, well, he made him look stupid, so he's cooler. And just on that alone, you'll have lost a witness to somebody. Just on that. We should not be overly concerned about what other people think necessarily. But at the same time, we need to not put ourselves in a situation to make ourselves look like fools. Because that is a good way to lose an opportunity to testify to somebody. You know? And that's what we're called to do, is to go forth and share our testimony. Because there's one thing no atheist, no agnostic, nobody can ever argue, and that is your testimony. Because it's based off your experiences, and they have anything to say about it. They can disbelieve it, but they can't disprove you, because they weren't there. Okay? And it does border dangerously on feelings, because feelings are not scientific, and honestly, they should not even be used for any time you're having a discussion with somebody. You cannot go with feelings, okay? Because every feeling in the world fades. Every feeling. There's not one feeling that lasts eternally on this planet. You know? It's like a couple just married. They're all lovey-dovey-dovey, and it's all cooing and awing all over each other. Give them 10 years. It's going to look a lot different. Okay? The in love factor that's built into us will fade. That's when the choice to love will drive that marriage and make it something actually worth having. You have to choose to love. The in love is to help you get to the choosing part, to where you have so much respect and love for that person That even when the in love part fades and you're not on a honeymoon every single night anymore, and you're just happy to be together because it's the love that keeps it together. It's the same concept. I mean, you can take that same scenario and you can apply it to everything. But your faith is likewise a choice. You have to choose to have faith. And when your faith is shaken, it's in your head. There's not aliens could land out in the pasture and start sucking up cows. Okay? That wouldn't shake my faith in God at all. Not a bit. Because you know what? God's word does not say he didn't make them. Now, if he did, I'm pretty sure it'd be in there. But am I the one to stipulate what God has to tell me and what he doesn't have to tell me? No. Who am I? As like Job, think about what God said to Job. Where were you when I created? Where were you when I did this? Oh, wait, I hadn't made you yet. It's like, no. God does not adhere to anything I want, anything I believe. He gives me the ground rules. He gives me his instruction manual and says, make a choice. Every morning, those of us who have manual labor jobs, we have to wake up and sometimes our muscles hurt. And it's like, it'd be really nice to sleep till about 8 or 9 o'clock. Oh, but the mortgage is due, the car notes due, the insurance is due. So we tell our muscles to shut up, we crawl our hind ends out of bed, and we go to work anyway. And we abuse our bodies and our knees, climbing on things, falling off roofs, smacking our thumbs with hammers, and, well, maybe that's just me, but for my dad, he turns wrenches for a living. Busted knuckles all day long, because eventually those wrenches slip, and there's a radiator pan in front of your hand, and well, I didn't have time to let the engine cool off, so it's 255 degrees, give or take. Just like that, it's our faith sometimes is weary. The enemy will come against us, and he's going to batter and bruise us. He's going to beat us up. And there's that cliche saying that it's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. Or in the rodeo world, when you get bucked off, especially guys who break horses, if they get bucked off a horse, they don't hesitate. They jump up as fast as they can, they grab hold of that horse, they get right back on it. Because if they don't, that horse will know, all I gotta do is buck you off now, and then I can go graze. It's a breaking process. Our faith is going to get battered, bruised, and it's going to get beaten up on. And we have to get back up. Because our faith is what's going to allow us to get through this world with a few less bumps and bruises. Because whenever we are under attack, when we have our faith intact, we're going to go to our God. We're going to go to his word. Or he's going to give us the remembrance. He'll bring to our memory the scriptures that's going to give us the comfort that we need. Because sometimes we got to walk through those valleys. Sometimes that valley is long. And it's for a purpose. It's for a reason. But we got to get through it. God's not there. He's not our genie in a bottle. He's not there to, every time we feel a little discomfort, go, oh, you didn't like that? Here, let me move that for you. No. He's like, suck it up. If you fall, no. There you go. Get out there. Keep going. Because it's what we need. If you look around, I don't mean this as an insult to you two, okay? So don't take it personally. I've about had it with millennials. Millennials. I'm about here. Because no work ethic, no drive, no integrity. Oh my goodness, I'm about ready. I could just spit nails sometimes. I could almost just get rid of the compressor and do it myself. They just don't care. Mommy and Daddy didn't whoop their hind end. And you two, I know, you guys have seen a belt.
then mommy and daddy would be in jail.
But you know what? Small price to pay. I would go to jail to discipline my child as my God tells me to. And if anyone needs scriptures, I got 5 of them. I can quote you, tell you what it says. It says it's better to beat him. And it won't kill him, but you will drive evil from him. If you spare the... See, that's people have been... it took me years of saying that phrase over and over and over in my head before I finally realized it's missing some words. If you spare the rod, you spoil the child. It isn't spare the rod and spoil the child. It's a consequence. If you spare the rod, you spoil the child. But for the longest time, that phrase never made sense to me. Because that word if was missing. And I'm like, spare the rod, spoil the child. It's like, how is... I didn't get it. But if you spare the rod, your kid's going to be an ornery little brat. You want to see him? Go to Walmart. They're everywhere. You can't hide from them. The main concept behind the whole faith without doubt thing. I myself, at one point, was struggling. Because I wondered, throughout my whole life, being raised the way I was, standing up here teaching, having the discernment that God gave me, and everything else, why does doubt still creep in sometimes? Why? I mean, it's like, I look at Pastor. Pastor never has doubt, right? So, if Pastor never has doubt, I should never have doubt. Now, granted, he's been a Christian 2/3 of my lifetime, But I mean, I was raised in this. He was not. This is my whole life. At no point have I ever doubted God. That isn't the doubt I was struggling with. It's the doubt whether or not I was saved. Whether or not I was good enough. Because is at the point where I was almost overthinking it. It was like, because my mind, I understand that there is nothing I can do to deserve salvation. There's nothing I can do to earn my way into heaven. And that's really what I was struggling with. That concept created doubt in my mind, knowing that I can't repay the debt, I can't earn it, I can do nothing. I am no more useful to God as far as, well, I can't say it like that. That would not be accurate. Let me put it this way. I can no more deserve salvation than Saddam Hussein or the baby that was born 5 minutes ago. Now, it seems kind of harsh, right? You think, no, he was a murderer. Well, he deserves it just as much as I do. The difference is in the accepting. Okay? It's like I had an atheist put it to me. Do you think it's right that a rapist or a murderer can do these horrible things to people and then go ask God for forgiveness and be saved? Now, it's a loaded question, because if said person says, I'm going to go shoot you, bang, I'll just ask God for forgiveness. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. That was basically the question he was asking me, and under that, he's correct. But if somebody, God forbid, rapes a woman, or murders a child, or a family, or whatever, and before they die, they find God, I want them to be repentant. I want them to receive salvation. If God does not want that anyone should perish, why should I? What right do I have to say he doesn't deserve it? I don't either. I deserve it no more than they do. Well, because they made bad choices with their lives, they deserve it less? See, it's easy for us to forget that if I steal $1 from her, I'm just as guilty of sin as the person who killed the baby. Or anything else you can think of. Sin is sin in God's eyes. No sin